I think it has connected me, so hang on, let me just take a few people in. And, oh fucking arseholes. That's a bit of tool, isn't it?
Where are you, Nobby, you little bastard?
Oh yeah, he's another fucker and all, isn't he? He's called some shit, isn't he? Oh, another one where you thought he was alright. Oh, I'm live, so I better be careful. No, you don't want to do that, so you want to go back. Go back, and you want to tag people.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Big Johnny here. Obviously, everyone's favourite creepy person, Alan Merritt there. The mouth of the UK. Can't help himself but say something nasty. But anyway, let's see who's on. Yes, Tommy Trump. Good evening, mate. And I got that email. Hope you've got the email back. Just want to see behind you, Alfie. 98-year-old veteran, and he was part of the Pegasus Bridge operation, and he flew over on a glider. And you know, tonight, Big John doesn't pull any punches. I give you the exclusive stuff. So let me just get a 30-second quick interview with Alfie. Never ever been shown on any kind of media or anything. Here it is. Alfie. So how old were you when you joined up? How old was you when you joined the army? How old?
17.
17, but did you lie?
Yeah, I told him that I was 18. So my Facebook now makes me not 99.
Right.
But I'm only 98.
Right, yeah. Oh, that's great, that's great. Let me just see how. So Alfie lied about his age to get into the military. Let me just see, check my mic's working properly. No, it isn't. That might be a bit better. I hope that's a bit better. Yeah, so that was him getting into the military, saying he was 18, but he were only 17. So his records have always been a year out, and that was our outfit. He died. He passed away after falling on his hip, and we went to his funeral and that. And his daughter said that so much faith has been brought to her in how kind other people are, and he's never been on Remembrance Day, and this is his first Remembrance Day. This is Alfie's first Remembrance Day. This guy here, captain, he served in the Falklands. Adrian's got captain rank. Adrian did Alfie's speech, and of course there were visits. Dion visited him every day until they moved him into a better property. Then I was so lucky that I went to see him, and we had a couple of hours with him. So great. Then obviously Memorial Day, so I took a load of pictures, and I've got hundreds of pictures that are unseen, you know what I mean, of Alfie. So just support we did for a veteran, as well as raising 15 grand. Obviously Darren Edmondson didn't have no part in accessing that money, so it was safe. But that was Alfie, who Joe and Dion supported at the camp. Now, I want to talk about Mike. That's all I'm going to say. His name's Mike. Mike passed through the camp a few years ago, and they supported him. He lived on the campgrounds. It was the time I was going down, but I never met him because he was always working or doing something. Now, Mike moved on, and he moved into Bath, and they put him in a property in Bath. And this typical of housing, they put him in a property, and there was other people with issues in that property. And one of these people had already tried to attack Mike one particular night. Neighbours are all phoning police and all that lot. Nothing comes of it. then the next night, this guy's attacked Mike again, and Mike's stabbed him, killed him. So Mike's been arrested, and that meant Joe and Dion was visiting prison every couple of weeks. They went to all the court cases to do with Mike. And you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. When he finally got let out, acquitted of the charge, one of the pieces of evidence brought in that got stated, it was in the papers and everything, was that the neighbours never phoned the police the second time. Why? Because he never turned up the first time. So you can see the kind of systemic failures within the police system, the housing, putting everyone in these kind of situations. I've already spoke about antisocial behaviour, where they put a couple of alcoholic smackhead type people in an area full of vulnerable people, and you know, there's going to be no trouble. The guy had a knife to someone's throat one night, and then the next week had beat someone over the head with a blunt instrument. So I pointed this out to our authorities and the housing association. So you can see the link to our Mike's situation. But Joe and Dion went and visited him every other week in prison and went to all his court cases. Joe wasn't, I'm going to admit, Joe was a bit upset on the final court case, but then he got acquitted. But then it came to light that people never phoned the police the second time because they never came out the first time. You just couldn't make it up. So, and then Mike's gone on to do the Spectrum Transition course. And I haven't found the video, but he did a little video, said, I'm Mike, and I've done the Spectrum Transition course. Sorry, someone's ringing me there. So, you know, and and obviously Joe and Dion had helped him through all this. And obviously, you know, the Glenn Safford's lot and all that, we don't help paras. Well, we do. We do help veterans. And either way we can, the Spectrum Transition course, I put the details up. You can go and look at their website. The Reboot course, which we've done 4 times around the camp, you can look at the site for that. And Mitch is a trained professional, so no matter what you say. And it's funny that all these people saying this have never even been to the camp. And the first voice note I ever played to do with this, Marcus was on saying that we don't help veterans and there's no stable support. Well, there is. And I did tell him that, and I did try to show him that course as well, and I talked about the course as well plenty with him. And just like, is he making things up? Is he saying things that, like, against the I'm not having it. I'm just not being treated like that off anybody. And like I said, we documented doing that Reboot course twice online every week on that late night veteran show. That's the proof that we've got. And we documented, I talked about the course. Now, if you don't believe that the course is real, you're just a weak person. It's a 13-week course, 3 hours a week with a little bit of homework. If you can't manage that, you are a very weak individual. Let me just tell you that. And Darren tried it and failed 3 times on that course by just not turning up or whatever. Other people have, but, you know, we do get the stalwart ones like me, myself, Lisa Turry, Ashley Yulton, Nick Wilson. Nick Wilson did the course twice. He's not a veteran, but he suffers, and he did the course twice. So, you know, like, we don't do nothing. Well, we do things, ladies and gentlemen. If you hear different off other people, they've never been to the camp, or they're uneducated, and the clinkers. That's what we're calling your clinkers. And that's that little noise you hear off the sheep's bell when it's following away. We call that the clinking. Actually, George Rayson calls that the clinker, the clinkers. Thank you, Jackie. Oh, good, mate. Honestly, Tommy Trump, make sure you are. I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself. Got a camper van as well, plug-in electric. Here we go. Anyone watching, just give JG's Cats and Things a like. We did a stream last night, so we'll be doing one every now and then on Jackie's channel, talking a bit about all sorts. And I've got a couple of phone numbers because a couple of her mates have had big issues, and I feel bad that, you know, they haven't been helped or supported by someone half decent. But yeah, so that's Alfie. Raised £15,000. Joe and Dion spent their own time and money as well, besides that 15 grand, going down and helping him, Christmas presents and stuff like that. He got moved into a better property, but unfortunately he had smashed his hip, fell over, smashed his hip, and then passed away. But, you know, he's served, 99 years old, what a gentleman. And it was an honour to meet him. And like I said, that video that you seen, that 30-second video, that is nowhere on the internet. That is Big John's personal recordings. That no one's ever seen that video before. But there will be a bigger video to do with Alfie coming out with little cuts and bits that I've done recording him. But yeah, so, you know, like, we don't help people at the camp. I'm not seeing any of that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing anything about the reboot course we did. And we did, while I was doing the late night veteran show, I did 2 tours of that reboot course, which is 26 weeks. We get guest speakers on the 13th week, our graduation. And we all get like a certificate. And, you know, it's been an enjoyable course. And I'm still learning on that course now. One of the things we talked about past few weeks is forgiveness. And I haven't got any forgiveness in me heart at the moment. I haven't. I'm not going to forgive those who've transgressed against me. I'm not going to forgive Glenn Saffer, the fake para. Alan Murray, creepy. Alan Murray. The bakers, the animal abusers. Honestly, the kind of people who are like going against us haven't got any fucking reputation anyway. You know what I mean? You haven't done nothing in your lives. Otherwise, you're a bit further in. Me, I want to run in local elections, get a local council seat and change things on a community level. That's what I want to do. And that's the things I work for within a community. Reporting on antisocial behaviour, taking on the housing associations, taking on the council, taking on the police, about men inappropriately talking to my good mate's daughter and granddaughter in the street who works at a barber's. I said, I want all these people checking. That's what I said. Otherwise, I'll go around and check them myself. That's what I said to the housing officials, the councillors, and the police at the meeting, St. Chad Centre and all in Wood. I said, I'll start knocking on these shops and asking who these people. That's what I said I'd do. And I'd be in my right too as well. Especially when we've got residential people's daughters and granddaughters being inappropriately chased up and down the street, I got told, off another shopkeeper. That's what they were doing. So I went and reported it, me. I went and said something. But yeah, so that's Alfie, guys. He were a great chap. And I've met, there's Dion. There's Dion. I've met all these guys several times now. Several times, all of them. Several times. And when I go to the Bath Memorial, all these guys say hello to me. They stop and say hello to me. And some of them watch the show as well. Adrian did a speech for Alfie, and I've got that speech, that original speech, written on a piece of paper. I've got it, that Adrian said. But there is a recording of the speech through the funeral thing, which I will get a recording of it. But you know, it was really good, and it was great, Alfie. He had the crack. He still had the wise cracks. Like I said, I've got footage that no one else has ever seen that were recorded in his own house. But you know, I'll get round to making a video, doing some more stuff on Alfie. So you know, we don't help veterans at the PTSD camp, according to some. There's still ongoing veterans who come to the camp now. There's veteran Steve's on there. We a big supporter of ours who passed away. We went to his funeral last year. Then there was our Tom, Vince, and then there was our Tom, the little veteran. Tom was a great patriot. He was part of the English Constitution Party, Graham Moore's party. Now, even though I don't align with Graham Moore's party, I respect Tom for standing up. And Tom actually stood in elections in Hollingwood, where I'm running. So the little veteran, our Tom, stood in elections in Hollingwood. So when I get a council seat, that has got my dedication to that seat is going to go to our Tom. But yeah, so we don't help people at the PTSD camp. That's what they tell you online. You Glen Saff a lot and all your little twinklers. Don't forget that little bell noise that the sheep makes when it's running. Let me see. I'm just checking my channel. I should have shared it and I didn't, but there's not many on because you can't say anything against the camp because they're all liars. Right, I will do, Jackie. One sec. Right, you are Jackie. Thank you, love. Thank you. So, up and coming, we're going to be starting up Crossroads to Healing group, which is our trauma course group, and we're going to be calling it Crossroads to Healing. It's been set up now as a charity so we can collect donations, and the course is free. You just got to pay for a book at the moment. We are looking, though, at making people put a deposit down, because I've just got to say, and I know I'm being bad, but people are weak. They can't even maintain to do a 12, 13-week course, which is just 3.5 hours a week with a tiny little bit of homework and a book. They can't even do that. Darren failed it 3 times. I didn't. I did mine 2 times on the run. The second time, the only day I missed was the night my mum died. That were it. I didn't use anything as going on holiday as an excuse. I did it from Northern Ireland, London, and the camp in Bath. Them are the 3 places that I did the first month's course. And I was at them places and still did the course. So, I mean, if you can't do that, then you're not going to get out of trauma if you can't even do that little bit. We have had a lot of people like just waste our time on the course because they're too weak to do the 13-week course. And I'm telling you, you're too weak. This is unapologetic, guys. I don't apologize, and I'm not. People are weak. And if you want to get out of your trauma, you definitely need to be a little better than weak. You know what I mean? You just really need to be. But I just find it weak that people can't do a 3-hour-a-week course with a little tiny bit of homework. And they can't do that 12 or 13 weeks on the run. It's just not good enough, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be able to do these kind of things if you want to get over trauma or anything like that. So remember, Friday night, unapologetic night. So obviously we don't do nothing at the camp and we don't support veterans. I told you Mike's story. And Mike's is a sad story because he had a difficult, besides a difficult childhood, he had a difficult run in the armed forces, Mike. And I'm not going to go into detail, but he's seen things that people shouldn't be seeing. Mike has seen that. And Joe and Dion supported him throughout all his court cases and all the time he was locked up. And then he was finally acquitted. And one of the pieces of evidence that came out, one of the statements was that people never phoned the police a second time because he never came out the first time when they was reporting it. So, you know, this is what people have to deal with. You know what I mean? And especially people, veterans and stuff like that. And Mike's done, like I said, Mike's done the Spectrum Transition course. The Spectrum Transition course. And that's an intense 4-day course he's done. And I just can't find a little video. I'm going to have a quick look for it, actually. I am going to definitely have a quick look for that video. Just bear with me. I'll just see if I can find it on my phone. Should be here somewhere on my phone. I would think. Bear with me, guys. But wait. I found it. 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 Right. I found it, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. But just bear with me, guys. Bear with me, please. Bear with me. Hope everyone's all right. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Right. Let's just bear with me. Come on, where are you? There it is. Really, this is So this is Mike, who was involved in the murder and got acquitted. There were just failures of everyone. The housing failed, the police failed, everyone failed. And this is Mike's testimony after he did the Spectrum transition course. I'm sorry if I'm going to be a bit teary-eyed after. It just always gets me, this little bit.
My name is Michael. I live here at the PTSD camp in Bath. I've been very withdrawn for quite some time now and was prompted onto the course, which has benefited me greatly. I am now able to get myself out again rather than being locked away. It's been great help to my head.
That's Mike, guys, and you can't think to understand Mike until you know him a little bit, and I know Mike a little bit, but that's what he had to go through with the authorities, the housing, being locked up and that, and you know, right at the end, the police never came. The people, the neighbours, never phoned the police a second time because it never come out the first time. That's what ended up. And like I said, you've got to know Mike a little bit. You really have to understand like the stuff that he's been through. But he's got a good place at the camp. He deals with all the garden, growing all the veg and stuff at the camp. And he's doing really well. And that Spectrum transition course, honestly, before that, no one was seeing him. And after that course, he came out again, and he said that at the end, and he's out more now. He's out more, and you know, it's a really emotional little video that I've shown a few times. But you know, we have to, you know, you really need to understand and know these kind of people who are involved in it and stuff. But thank you very much. Friday night, guys, and I don't apologise, and I never will do. Right, that's what it says, unapologetic. And if you don't like it, then just be offended. You know, you can report me. Won't be just things to do with the camp. We talk politics, slag the MPs off last week, and we're going to go to town on Oldham Council over the next few weeks because I've got some really juicy gossip from forced marriages. Yeah, honestly, forced marriages, all right, to corruption within the council. You just couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. And, you know, like, we're not allowed to speak factually. We're not allowed to complain. We're not even allowed to complain about immigration and the hotels being filled up. As you can see, there's a lot of action over on Britannia in Seacroft, where I've been before. Big John's already been there doing his videos outside, and we ran a demo as well. And I spoke, and I delivered 500 leaflets to the local area and got these people to come out and support us on the demo. You've got the Epping protests in London, all over the country. And good on you, guys. Good on you. If you can't get to a protest, post about it on social media. That's what you need to do. Take a picture of the hotel or the HMO where you know people are living and that we don't know anything about. And just put them on social media. You don't even have to say anything. Just take them pictures and turn up at these protests. Otherwise, we're going to get run all over. And it's dangerous enough as it is. So get to them protests or get taking some bloody photographs and stuff. And get some social media activity. They hate that. Good, well, you can help me, Jackie. So, yeah. There we go. That was Mike. who did the Spectrum Transition course. Remember, we don't do nothing at camp. We don't support veterans with PTSD or our trained people. Spectrum Transition course, Mike and Victoria, absolutely trained individuals, alongside Mitch to do the reboot course, another trained individual. And you know what? A lot of these people saying it haven't even been to camp, and they've been offered. I've offered to bring them to the camp. I've offered I've offered Marcus to come to the camp. I have seen it for himself. So if you've never been to camp, you're still going on at us like the Bakers, the animal abusers. We don't want to know you, guys. We don't want to know you. And you won't be never coming to the camp anyway, because we know who you are. No, we know who you are. And as soon as we know who you are, you'll be barred. You will be barred. So Friday night, guys, Unapologetic. If you want me to talk about something in particular, you'll have to let me know. If you want me to discuss a particular topic, no holds unbarred, I will do. We'll have guests on. Hopefully over the next few weeks, Nobby's going to be coming on the channel talking about his trip to France. I want to hear more about that. We're going to be starting up Crossroads to Healing. That'll be a separate show. Obviously, I do 8 p.m. with our party show on a Tuesday, and we're hoping to be talking about abortion again on Tuesday. So that's up and coming. And of course, Unapologetic. Definitely not apologizing. Definitely not apologizing. But yeah, 23rd of August is our party camp conference at the PTSD camp. 23rd of August. You need to email us if you want to come. admin@nationalhousingparty.uk. Email us there, so we know who's coming. We've got to take a record of everyone coming. We're not just going to invite people who aren't going to give the names or are wearing masks. It just don't work like that. We're a very open, like party. And if any media want to come and record any of our speeches, you're quite welcome to. But email us at admin@nationalhousingparty.uk. Obviously, dead controversial, me in that camp, unbelievably. We've been in newspapers quite a lot. Lot been mentioned off that stinking Jewish Chronicle, which is something that needs to go away. But people are quite welcome to come down. Just got to give us your names and details. We need to know that for health and safety as well within the camp area, because there's a lot of people, members of the public there. We've got first aiders on standby. There's at least 3 or 4 first aiders on the camp. We won't be expecting to do any skydiving or dangerous kinds of sports or anything like. You're going to be listening to speeches. But like I said, first aiders on the camp. We have all the necessary equipment. There's toilets, and it'll be sheltered. It's a big sheltered area now. And so there's no having to dodge the rain or anything like that. Big sheltered area, and it's all concreted as well, so it's good to stand on. But yes, thank you for joining the show tonight. Unapologetic. Myself, John Lawrence, here. And just calling out the fakes and all them people who haven't been to camp, who think they know about the camp, like Marcus for a start. I have another voice note somewhere, but I can't find it. Well, Jim Baker's going on about the camp, and Tanya's on, and Tanya said, "Well, I've never been to the camp, but this Jim Baker sounds like he's like in the camp and all that." Like, well, you're not, mate. You're an animal abuser. That's what you are, Jim Baker. Just thought I'd let everyone know that. Jim and Sarah Baker convicted. And they go on. And what is it? You accused people of raping people as well at the camp. Who are these people who say these kind of things? I don't know people like that, me. I really don't. I don't know people that evil and nasty. I just don't. Good job I never run into you neither. Well, you never know. I might do. Sorry, I'm just looking for somewhere on here. Yes, sir. Good evening. Hope you're all right, sir. By any chance, are you in Manchester tomorrow? I've got a couple of hidden mods in background who are watching as well, by the way. Right, come on, let me just bear with me, guys. Let me just top up my glass. Have I got any videos you can listen to?
Hey, look at the buttons, look! Look, I fought for this fucking country, right? I fought for this country! I'm a colour! I fought for this country. I can't get back. You're Nazis! You're Nazis! You're Nazis! My dad fought for this country! I fought for this country! I fought for this country! And this is what I'm getting! This is what I'm getting! Alright?
Yes, everybody's favourite fake para, Glenn Saffer there. It's a good one, that. It's a good one. I think my mate James Goddard's got something coming on that lot. Saffer and his twinklers, his little sheep. But yes, unapologetic, guys. As you can see, they're not going to apologise. I might apologise when I've not been bad enough. That'll be the only time I apologise, that I've not been unapologetic enough. But thank you very much. Right, yeah, right. Oh, I don't know. Is that one in Manchester? Oh, but there is a big protest tomorrow against migration in central Manchester. I've got a couple of lads who are like TikTokers, TikTok Cozzy, and TKE Media. So they're both going. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Let me see if I can find something else from oh, Alfie. We're lovely, Alfie. 5 minutes that cutting of him. 43.
What you're saying there is that when you come across chickens, you took them. Yeah, we like chicken, but I can't remember milk. I can't remember a cook or anything like that. Right. No, I've never had a cook. Well, did you have rations then? Yeah, ration pack. Yeah. Yeah, biscuits and things, yeah. The hardtack.
That was funny. He just said if they come across chickens, any farmland, they had them and defeathered them and ate them. And he said he never remembers a cook, but he remembers them having rations, biscuits and stuff. Unbelievable stuff I've got there off Alfie. Never been seen outside of my phone and computer ever. Not even Darren seen them videos. But I'll definitely get something going together about our Alfie. I'm just going to change my background again. This is one of my favourite ones, this. Minds at War. Let me move out of the way. It's one of my favourite ones, and I think that might be that creepy Alan Murray who took that. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody in the chat. Unapologetic, guys. You've heard me before. It's a lot quieter because none of the trolls are on now. They've given up. But, you know, the PTSD camp don't help anyone. Well, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. But then again, I go to the camp regular, so I'm not really going to miss anything. But a lot of the people saying stuff against the camp have never been to the camp, and you're just full of that. Remember them twinklers there, twinkle, twinkle, you little sheep following others, little sheep. I'm a standalone, I'm a standout person because I do things off my own back, like running in local elections and getting involved in voting, the electoral system. There you go. Thank you very much. Right, anyway, I've had enough for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jackie. I'll give you a bit more access. You can sort my links out for me if you think they're terrible. That's much appreciated. And I did sort of like hint towards that bit before when I was talking to you. And if you've got any other suggestions or anything, just let me know, and I'll implement them. But thank you very much, guys. Just a little about the camp and a little bit about what Joe and Dion, above and beyond the call of duty, going to the court case and going to prison, visiting that Mike all the time until he was released. And you know, it's a difficult story because you really need to know Mike a little bit before you can like get into the story. And I do know Mike a little bit, and I was so fortunate that after his release, I got picked up from bus stop because he had a load of stuff, and Mike picked us up in a white van, and I said, "Is it Mike?" He said, "Yeah," and I was nearly crying, guys, because I knew what he'd been through and stuff like that. So God bless you, Mike, top man. And you know what? I'll see you next week. And again, it's unapologetic. Thank you very much.
Well, Mark, I only know Alan Merritt because I was in Beach Home in 1971. I was there for 2 years, and when I left there, they put me into a mental hospital at 13 years old. My mum got a barrister and got me released and got the social worker sacked. We're going back to 1973. I'm now 63 years old. Alan Merritt, he is a two-faced cunt. That man will side with anyone, whatever suits him at the time. He's not a genuine person. He's all the people that Alan's mixed up with, they're all nutcases. They're all crazy. I think that he buys them. I think he gives them money. When you see them going out to dinner, I think he pays for everything. His wife was called Kathy. Well, when Kathy died, Kathy's knees put up. While my aunt was in the hospice dying, that thing, Alan Merritt, was going up and down the motorway on his jolly way, going to all different demos. He drew all the money out of the bank and said all the gold was stolen. Now he's loaded with money from Kathy's death. He didn't give a shit about. Well, he wants to have it off with that Auntie Marie. He told me he wanted to lick her cunt out and fuck her and all that. He's a dirty old sod. He's only 5 years older than I am. Cancelled my subscription to Wake Up UK because Alan Merritt was running gay people down, and I'm a gay man, and so was Sue Peake. I've fallen out of her as well. Another woman called Jackie Lowry, this fat ugly thing. He was just really irritated me, Alan Merritt. I don't give a shit what happens to him. If somebody smashes his face in, it will serve him right. He's got too big-headed. He thinks he's John Wedger. He thinks he's a bloody journalist. He's no journalist. What? He comes from the same area that I come from, in Hammersmith, Shepherd's Bush in London. We come from exactly the same place. He comes from the slums. That's where he comes from. I know where he lives because I come from the same place. But I live in Christchurch in Dorset. I live near the sea. I've got a 2-bedroom house, but I have to pay bedroom tax. And also, Mark, if he really loved his wife, he wouldn't have been going to demos while his wife was dying in a hospice. He would have stayed by her side. But Alan Merritt, he thinks he knows it all, done it all. When he's with Tinkerbell, Andy Marie, he's buying them and giving them all money. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that he buys people because he's loaded with money. Well, all I can say, Mark, is that Alan Merritt is fucking stupid. He gets himself involved with some really stupid people.